some madness and badness. Combination. Grr. On morning side, got no stake in the ride.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I am Jake Parr. I'm here with
Elijah Diaz.
and today we have a very special guest. Mr. Alcantar is one of our very special student support specialists here at Canyon View. He is very near and dear to all of us students here, and we're just going to ask him a few questions, see how he does it, where he came from, all about that. So, Mr. Alcantar, what's your favorite thing about Canyon View?
Favorite thing about Canyon View? Just the culture we've built here. And before I even got here, seeing how you guys are all tight and how the school has all the pride, it's a very special place to work for.
And with those students, do you have, obviously being the student support specialist, do you have a really good relationship with those students?
Yeah, like we get a variety of students, man, just from anywhere. Like our job is to deal with students that need help with emotional support, maybe not having a great day or just need help getting involved. We also deal with students with grief that lost parents. We also deal with students that are going through a lot right now, tragedies in like their own lives, and maybe a lost home, maybe something like that. We work with Mr. Mendoza with, and we work with kids that just need somebody to talk to. So our job, we have a huge range of what type of kids we talk to, and it's just fun. It's just always different.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite part of your job and your least favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of the job is I get to be me. Like I can do what I do. I can talk to whoever I want to. I can, just be me, and I don't have to change for anybody. And the kids, like that because they know they're talking to somebody who's real, somebody that's not going to be different just because of who they are. The part that sucks the most about our job is hearing the stories, what some of you guys go through, man. You don't realize how bad you guys have it, and sometimes how hard it is on you guys. So that sucks to have to hear that. And there's nothing you can do sometimes, and that really sucks to know I can't always help somebody out. Because you want to help everybody out, but it's not always possible. So.
And who are the other student support specialists that you work with?
Miss Blunier. Miss Blunier is my heart and soul, man. I've known Miss Blunier for over 20 years. Her and I taught together 20 years ago, and she came into this role this year, and she's so phenomenal. She's done a great job, and she's got like the best heart of anybody, so she does a great job.
What did you teach?
What did I teach or she teach?
You teach, because you taught together 20 years
ago. So 20 years ago, I was a fifth grade teacher. I taught fifth grade for fifth and sixth grade. I taught fifth and sixth grade math for 13 years. So I did that for a long time, and then I got into the high school, and I've been in the high school ever since then.
What made you want to do the switch?
I was the head football coach at Dysart High School, but I was an elementary teacher, so I had to travel back and forth, and that was tough, man. When you're the head coach and you got to be back and forth at your high school looking at your own students, and then going to a totally different school and having to deal with that was tough. So my last year at Dysart, I was teaching at Luke Elementary School, and then I resigned from there, and I got the head coaching job at Cedar Chavez, and I thought it would be cool to just be the head coach and actually teach at the school you're at. So.
Speaking of you coaching, you are currently coaching for Perry, it is, right?
No, Liberty.
Liberty High School. Wrong team, yeah. Liberty, you guys are in the playoffs tonight.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into tonight's game?
We're in the first round of the open game, man. I'm excited. It's a great opportunity. We're the number one seed, and it'll be the first time ever being in that position and being where we're at it's amazing. It's kind of like how we were with wrestling, but we're trying to win a state championship. And to win the open, I mean, you're the best in the state. Yeah. So it'd be fun, man. I'm excited for it.
Is the culture of the team really upbeat right now because you guys are going into the open?
Yeah, and what's cool about the culture there is like they've been there before, so they know how to act. They're ready to roll, and they understand that it's important, but we're living in the moment and that we're living week to week. Because next week's not promised. That you lose, you're out. Yeah. So the boys are excited, man. They're pumped. They're ready to go, and we've had huge crowds, and we've been in some big games, so we're excited to see how this one plays out.
And who are you playing tonight?
We're playing Hamilton High School.
Tough.
That's a tough match.
Yeah, tough match. Yeah, we played the first games. We know what to expect, but they've gotten better since then.
Yeah. How'd you do back then?
We won that first game. The first quarter was tough, man. I think we were down. I want to say we were down 14-7, and then we exploded that second score. The second quarter scoring 42 points, and it being 49-14 at half, and we ended up beating them 56-20.
Yeah.
So
you're hoping to replicate that tonight?
I'm hoping so. It'd be nice to get out of there and go get some wings late.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Along with your at sports is FCA. You run the FCA here. What is the What is FCA? Just to explain to people that don't know what it is.
FCA is a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It doesn't mean you have to be an athlete to be an FCA, but it's a way for us to share our faith before and after school. Obviously, we try not to do it during school. It's just something we're not allowed to do. But it gives kids an opportunity to be part of a club. Like, you have all different types of clubs, but usually you don't have a club that talks about religion or talks about your faith. So that gives us an opportunity to be a part of that. And then we do a lot of charitable work. Like, right now we're doing the big Thanksgiving drive. We're about to feed almost 40 families for Thanksgiving.
That's
awesome.
fantastic.
We're doing a good job with that. We do a Christmas drive where we usually try to adopt 2 to 3 families, and just for the kids and children, we buy all their presents. Make sure they have about 8 to 10, so they have something to open during Christmas. Make it fun for them, and it's huge, man. I'm proud of our FCA. We started it way before I even got here, but within the last 3 years, we built it. We would average about 20 kids. Now we're about 80 kids plus that come. Usually we average from 60 to 80 kids every meeting, every Thursday morning. And then, we were voted the #1 FCA chapter in all of Arizona last year. And then just last night, I got the Impact Award for FCA of the Year. And so that was kind of what we've done together as like a whole group of kids and our staff. So I was proud to accept it for them, man. It's been good.
Yeah. What does FCA mean to you?
It means everything, man. It's, I wouldn't say I was a bad kid in high school, but I wasn't doing all the right things, hanging out with the wrong crowd. I was kind of being a follower, not a leader. And I had a coach named Coach Alcantar who actually came and saw me the other day here. Kind of saved me, man. Got me away from all the gangs, got me away from all the stupid things, and brought faith into my life and made me realize that God's more important, and that I need to follow my faith and not be following other people that are not believing in God. And, changed me around and got me to where I wanted to be in college. And, ever since then, I've been a follower of Christ and trying to implement that in many ways I can without being in trouble with doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
How do you feel about being able to give that change back to our students and to the community in general?
it's I don't know if I'm giving it back, man. It's cool to give people an opportunity to be blessed like I was, and to see what you guys do and to see what our students do by helping other people, man. It's a blessing because you guys don't realize how good you guys have it until you give something to somebody that doesn't have anything near what you have and would give anything to be you on your bad day. It's awesome to see that. It's awesome for our kids to see that, but it's awesome to see how many people reach out and help other kids out. Like our groups, our FCA group, our motto is we have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. So what they do, they go out and make sure every day, man, we say hi to somebody we don't already say hi to. We invite somebody to one of our meetings, and we try to make sure that, everybody's loved. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah. The FCA events are really well organized. The Fields of Faith, that's
Yeah.
ran by FCA, and I just saw some videos from there, and that was like a super cool experience to just watch from a third person perspective.
Yeah.
Like having a bunch of students come worship and just share your faith and fellowship. I thought that was such a cool thing to just watch and see happen, because that's like super impactful for the school in general. That's super awesome to see. Stuff like that.
And it's cool, man, because you got to think about that too. We're getting 15 high schools around from the West Valley to come and worship in one night by ourselves. And, Refinery Church helped us out. They did the band. We have one of their pastors, Coach Jerry Rogers, who's one of the basketball coaches of Ottawa. He's in charge of FCA, one of the main guys, organized and put it together, man. And we're just thankful to host it and see so many lives change. And within that, man, if we can save 2 or 3 people from that and they find God, it's a blessing. So we did our job.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And how would somebody go about joining FCA? Is there anything that they need to do, or just show up?
Just show up, man. Just show up to a meeting, listen to us speak, and listen to a couple people just talk about how it's helped them, and just be a part of it. All you got to do is, you got to like donuts. I bring donuts every Thursday morning, man. You eat a donut, you chill, have breakfast. That's all you got to do.
So how do you run your meetings and everything like that?
So we have guest speakers, or we'll speak ourselves, our leaders. We have about 15 leaders. Mia Jacobs is our president. She'll help us organize some leaders. There's a bunch of people that help out. And we'll bring in different pastors, different people of faith to speak to our kids, to talk about what's on their heart. And then, it's pretty cool because then at the end of our talks, we call them devotionals. Our kids will ask questions or then kind of give their perspective of what they think the devotional is about, or ask questions of how they feel. So it's pretty cool.
That's really nice. I like how you can, set that up and be a part of that to change, because obviously with your job, you change and help help the lives of students, and
Yeah.
you can do that outside of school and in school too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like in high school nowadays, sometimes people are scared to show their religion, or
Yeah.
some are don't feel safe. And I think it's cool that there's now an outlet where someone could go and feel comfortable and
Yeah.
be a safe place to share their religion, or even learn about a religion to help their life out. I think that's
Yeah.
not super common these days anymore.
No. And what's cool about Canterbury High School, man, like, we have so many clubs and different outlets for kids that if you don't want to be part of a religion-based club, go be part of, like, the art club,
Yeah.
be part of the chess club, the robotics club, anything. There's a ton of different things we can do here, and that's cool because I didn't have that in high school. I didn't have all these clubs, and the fact that Stuco does a good job of putting them all together, our administration does a good job. It's a blessing to have that. So it's a blessing for you guys. Like, hey, if I don't want to do this, at least I have this option to do that. If I'm not an athlete, at least I can go do this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool about our job because we get to see what everybody gets to do. And like, hey, go try this out. Go try that out. So it's fun to do that.
Yeah. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
On this campus for sure. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So we talked about your football, but I know you're the coach of wrestling because I'm a wrestler, so we've kind of been together a little bit. How are you feeling going into this season?
Coach Ortiz, man. Coach Ortiz is a good dude. I've known Coach Ortiz since high school, man. We went to high school together. We got in trouble together. It was fun growing up with Coach Ortiz. If you know Coach Ortiz, man, he's fun to be with. But to see what you guys have done, man, I've been blessed to be a part of it the last 3 years. And that was my first time ever being in the wrestling room, In high school, when I went with Coach Ortiz, we were 4-time state champs.
Yeah.
So if you weren't a dude, you weren't going to wrestle. So it's kind of tough. But watching you guys build what you guys have, and it's also made me a better coach because I never got to be in a state championship. The last 2 years, we took runner-up.
Yeah.
And to see you guys that first year and you guys just excited about it. And then last year, we lost by a point and a half. But to see the expression and the disappointment of not winning it, but you guys knowing we should have won it made me realize, all right, these boys are going to win it this year. These boys know that they should have won it last year. Now they're out for blood and they're out to go get what's theirs. And I'm excited to see what you guys can do. Do I think it'll be harder this year? Yeah. But I think you guys want it more this year because of the last 2 years. So I'm excited to see what you guys do.
Finally follow through.
Finally follow through, finish. We have unfinished business. Go finish it.
And I know that's kind of been around the whole Candy View. We get to the state finalists and just fall short a little bit. How do you think we could change that as a whole from your coaching perspective?
It depends, man. Like it's not. I don't like we did an AIA interview the other day, and somebody asked us about our loss at Corona. I don't think it's a failure. I think it's a learning experience. You got to remember, the amount of state championships that we've been through as a small, not small, but newer high school shows you we're almost there. You got to remember, a lot of high schools never got the opportunities we've gotten so far, and they've been around for years and decades. We've done it in 5-6 years?
Yeah.
And then if you think about it, if we're having these types of setbacks, when we get it right, imagine how many state championships, how many banners Miss Hudson's gets to hang up in that gym, So I don't see it as we're, having failures. I said, we're building our bricks to make our house for our foundation, and sooner or later, it's going to have all these banners, and we won't have any spots for them. And that's going to be a cool place to be when that happens. So.
Yeah.
And how do you see us in competition with other high schools, like our sister schools in Agua Fria and just in Arizona in general?
It's different, man. The culture here is different. What I like about Liberty High School, where I coach football, it's expected to win. It's expected that we do good, and our head coach expects us to do that. Here, Ms. Hudson expects us to win, but it's not just one program; it's multiple programs. You got, wrestling, baseball, girls basketball, boys basketball, baseball for us, softball. You have all these programs that are getting there, and we're going to get there, man. It's very similar. The only thing that is different from what I've seen is we're young. We're a young school, and we're still trying to learn our ways to create a tradition of winning. You go look at Liberty, Peoria High School, schools that won a ton of state titles. There's tradition there because they're older, man. Peoria's over 100 years old. Liberty's, in almost 30 or 20, whatever it is. We're going to get there, and we're going to have traditions. The coolest thing about our school is we already built it in a short amount of time. So imagine what our traditions are going to be 20, 30 years ago when you guys come back for your 10-year reunion, 20-year reunion. Man, we started that. I mean, even though we win that state title with these guys, we were part of the foundation that they built. So I see it happening soon.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely coming our way. I think our wrestling is so talented too. We have some guys that are freaking killers out there, and just watching them do what they do is crazy.
Yeah, and we're one of the few high schools in Arizona that have All-Americans. Like
Yeah.
we have 2 All-Americans, and not many high schools have one. Not even one in their district. We have 2 in our high school. So it's cool to see that. But it's not just that with sports. Like you look at our sports here, like how many sightings do we have every semester? We have a ton of sightings. We do a good job with that, and we celebrate it the right way. That's what the thing I love about Miss Hudson and what we do with. It's a blessing to be able to sign, but it's also a blessing not for the person signing, but for the teachers to see, like, look, I get to be a part of that kid's life. I get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Like, last night I was with Connor Anderson. He's pitching at GCU. He came to watch us get an award, but then I think about it like I got to be a part of that kid's life. I didn't get to coach him, but I got to be a part of that journey, and I get to see how when it finishes and what it ends up being, and that's a cool thing to do. So I'm excited for that too. I'm excited for all those kids.
And what do you think your favorite moment that has come, like what's your favorite moment of all time that's come out of working at Canyon View and interacting with these students and these athletes?
Just, my favorite moment is just being here, man. Like being part of SCA, I think SCA is huge to me, but being a part of it, just being able to talk to the kids every day and knowing that you're making an impact, knowing that you get to be a part of their lives, that's my favorite part. It's not a favorite moment, but it's always a different moment every day. And then are there going to be bad days? Yeah, man. Not everybody's going to like what you do. Not everybody's going to be happy with what you do. But in your heart, if you know you're doing right, in your heart, you know you're doing what God intended and what you're supposed to do, it should be a beautiful every day to you, no matter what anybody else says, the outside noise. So I'm thankful for that. And, that's my favorite part about it.
What are some things that inspire you every day, or when you're coaching or running all these things? What are some things or people that inspire you every single day?
My dad, man. My dad's my huge inspiration, man. He passed away a year ago in September. I was coaching football at Millennium. I was a defensive coordinator over there, and I got a phone call on a Monday that my dad had coded. He was in the hospital, not doing too good. We thought he was out of the woods, and I had to go run out of practice, go see it, and I was there with my dad when he died. I was there with his last breath, and I got to talk to him. And people talk about, why do you coach? Why do you do your things? I even said it last night at the ceremony, is that I saw my dad coach for 35 years. My dad worked in construction. He was working outside all the time, man. And he would come home every day. He was very strict, made sure the house was clean, made sure my homework was done, made sure I was good to go. And then I would load up his truck with either our baseball equipment, our football equipment, our basketball stuff, whatever sport he was coaching that day. And my dad would take his old Ford truck. My dad would go do this. My dad would help raise his boys. And I remember when I started coaching real young, I asked my dad, why did you do that, man? That seems like, now I'm looking at it, I'm doing it. It takes so much time, Pop. Like, I call it Pop. Like, why do you do that? And he talked about it, like, that's what God intended, man. If you want to be a man, like, if you want to be a good coach, you'll never be remembered as a coach. You'll be remembered as the guy that helps kids and the guy that was there for kids. And he's like, so if you want to be a coach, you're doing it. Don't be a coach. But if you want to be a coach because you want to help people and be remembered as helping people, that's the type of coach people remember. Yeah. And so it was weird when he said it. He was like, but he's like, don't be remembered as just a coach. Be remembered as a good man helping people. Yeah. So he's the reason why I do what I do. I want to make him happy and proud, man. So that's my inspiration.
That's awesome.
What did you do to start into, what did you do to get to your teaching positions and to help set up for your future and where you are now?
I was in college, man. I wanted to play football. I thought I was better than I was, and I wasn't. I went to NU and realized I was not as talented as everybody there. I was a short-lived dream, and then I got in trouble in class, man. I'm telling you guys, I was kind of a bad dude. I got in trouble in class. It was a class that was Health 200 or 250. I can't remember the name of the class, but Teresa was our teacher in that class. She was our professor, and she called me out in front of all the guys, and she's like, Alcantar, you need to stay after class. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get kicked out of class. I'm being an idiot. I'm making jokes. Me and the guys are messing around. And she's like, I want you to meet me at Coconino High School. You need to talk to me. We're gonna talk about, some things that you need to correct in your class. So I was like, oh, I'm not even meeting her in her office. I gotta go meet her at her work. And then she introduced me to Coach George Moat. He was the head football coach at Coconino High School. And she's like, I got a player for you. He's gonna help you out. He's gonna be the guy that is gonna help you coach. And I'm like, I don't even want to coach. She's like, well, if you don't want to coach, you're not gonna be in my class, and you'll be kicked out of my class, and you go talk to the dean about it. So I never got to coach like a full term there, but I got to meet Coach Moat. I got to kind of get introduced to like what football is about, and and then kind of spark that fire. Man, I really want to coach. I really want to coach football. And so when I graduated, I went to Dyser High School. I was teaching at Sunset Hills. Thompson Ranch. It was a brand new school, and I got introduced to the head coach at Dyser High School, brand new dude. And I asked him, "Hey, do you need help?" And I'll never forget. I'm like, "Man, this is so hard." And I'm talking to my dad about it. I'm like, "Dad, am I doing the wrong thing?" He's like, "No, you're at one of the toughest schools in Arizona. You could quit." He's like, "But finish it out and see what happens." So we did 3 years there, and kind of how full circle comes back. I coached for a while, and I came back. I took a year off because I had knee surgery, and I had to get an ACL and a microfracture done. And then the coach, this was like probably 10 years later, another coach from Dyser was like, "Hey man, I know you coached here. I need help. Nobody wants to coach here. We don't have enough coaches. Can you come back?" I was like, "Yeah, you know what, man, I'll come back for a year and help out, and then I'll try to see if I can just go somewhere else and learn." And that coach ended up getting had to quit or resign or got fired, and they offered the head coaching job to me. And I told my dad, this was 12 years ago, and I was like, "Dad, I'm not ready to be a head coach." He was like, "Well, maybe God is, maybe you're not, but God is ready for you." So within that time, I took over my first year there. We were 2-8. Dyser had not had a winning season in 22 years. So it was tough, man. And I was like, man, I was part of the worst seasons there. And so I got a bunch of guys that were part of the community, maybe not all the football guys that people thought I needed, but I got dudes that were like, you know what, let's make a change. And the second year we went 4-6. The third year we went 7-4. It was the first time ever in their history they had a winning, or not first time, but the first time in over 20 years, 2 decades, they had a winning season.
Dang.
And then my last year there, we went 9-2. We won the first region title in school history for football. We made the playoffs. We made history. And, then from there, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. God's timing for sure.
Yeah, man, it was fun, man. It is.
You build lifelong relationships,
Yeah.
being a coach and doing all that. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else, Jake?
No, you probably have to get out there with all the.
No, whenever you guys are ready, man.
I have a question. It's a little more off topic, just to know a little bit more about you. What is your favorite musical artist?
My favorite musical artist.
Yeah. Who do you listen to on the daily?
On the daily. I don't know, man. I like all genres of music except for 70s rock. I hate 70s rock. I just shouldn't say hate. I dislike 70s rock. But I listen to everything, man. You'll catch me listening to some Christian music. I'm a big country dude. I like Morgan Wallen, George Strait. Rappers, I love Drake. I'm more of an old school Tupac type of guy. Trying to think, Spanish music. I love it all, man. I listen to everything. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm getting ready for a football game, it's zoning out to some rap music. If I'm driving, hanging out with my fam, it's probably country music. And right now, it's Christmas time. Christmas starts for us November 1st. So it's all Christmas music right now. So it's whatever, man.
Yeah. You're one of those people, November 1st, it's Christmas time?
Oh, yeah.
Because some people, it's after Thanksgiving or December 1st.
We don't talk to those people.
Yeah, I'm November 1st. As soon as November, Christmas music and Christmas tree can go up.
Yep. I already got my lights up, man. It's not even Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All my Christmas lights are up already.
Thanksgiving is just a filler, just for getting you ready for Christmas. That's all it is.
I'd say even in October for me, but.
Yeah. If you're Mexican, you got to know Christmas time is November because that's when you start making tamales.
Oh, yeah. Tamale season's coming up real soon. I'm excited for that.
So you got to remember, hey, once tamales hit, man, I know it's Christmas time.
Yeah. My nana makes some meat tamales, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we make them all, man. We make them with my mom and my dad when he was alive, but we make them still with my mom. And it's a sweatshop, dude. It's a assembly line. Everybody's got to do their thing, and you don't realize you're making 20, 30 dozen within 2 hours. And, but you do remember making them because that's all you eat for 2 months. And after that, you're good to go. And all right, I'm good. I'll wait till next year.
Yeah. There really is an assembly line. Someone smashing the masa, someone spreading it, and then some folding it. Yeah, that's.
And then you get yelled at for that's too much masa. I'm like, well, they're not for you, they're for me. So
for my family, we so all the women are the ones who make the tamales, and then all the men.
Unfortunate, you should be making them.
Yeah, well, it's just tradition. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. And then all the men will come and we eat red chili burritos, and that's kind of like our tradition. But it's always interesting tamale day because the women are always fighting each other, all mad at each other.
Talking trash.
Yeah, talking trash. Talking about you're spreading too little. Those are tiny tamales, but it's always fun.
We do it that way too, man. But it's most of the boys will spread the masa. The girls will wrap, put them in there. My dad used to put the chilies in there, and he would put an olive. My wife, my mom would wrap them up, put them away, and then we would count the amount. And then me and my brothers would just pump them out, man. We would do all the masa spreading. And then my kids, their jobs when they were younger would be to take the ones we did to the table, and then we would like have that transition. Here's another dozen, boom, take them. Here's another dozen, boom, take them. And it would be quick, quick, quick. And then we would wait. My mom would cook the first 2 dozen, and then she would make homemade rice, homemade beans. Sometimes she would throw homemade tortillas, which is my favorite. And it'd just be, you know, you just be happy, fat, eating, man.
Yeah.
It's so good, man.
Yeah,
Thinking about it right now.
You eat tamales even until January.
Yeah.
You eat tamales forever. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you get all your friends over. You know, it's funny, man, because my wife's not Mexican, she's white, but to see her like be a part of that and have those traditions, you know, that's because it's more of a Hispanic tradition.
Yeah, yeah.
And then have her kind of share that with my kids is cool. And she's like, we never did this. I'm like, oh, you're not Mexican, so that's probably why you never did it. But you know, but it's cool. And the kids love it, man. It's a good time, man.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
different traditions we do. So yeah.
I'm excited because we get tamales from our neighbors because we do trades with
Yeah.
Christmas food, and it's highlighted at Christmas time always. And I just love cooking and baking, and it's just like I get to bake for them, and then it's like it's very community.
I don't ever get those cookies and bacon. You and your sister part. I'm upset now that I know about that. That's cool. We'll talk about it later when this is all.
Yeah, I'll have to make you some. I haven't made some in a while, so.
I do. I love chocolate chip, man. I love baking, man. Like I love when my daughter bakes, man. She knows when I'm mad and having a bad day. She'll make some fresh cookies, and I won't tell you anything. That's my girl, man.
Yeah. Do
Takes
you
care of that.
and your family celebrate, like your whole family celebrate Christmas Eve? Is that like the day you guys celebrate?
So no, we do it where it was weird, man. It was like we celebrate Christmas with my wife's family. We go to my aunt. She's like my second mom, man. I love her, Aunt Debbie, man. I love that woman to death. We go to her house. She's made it better for me because, you know, being Hispanic, traditionally you have tamales and rice and beans for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, my Aunt Debbie, man, she doesn't do that. She switches up every year. We can have some kind of meat, some kind of a cheese thing, or she changes it up so it's never the same. But the one thing I keep consistent, once we're done with my aunt, we hang out. She's not mine, but I call her my aunt. Once we hang out at my aunt's house, we then go to my mom's for midnight when Christmas hits. And we have a bowl of menudo. And if you like, you know, if you're not Mexican, you probably don't like menudo, but we have a bowl of menudo. We sit at the table, we talk to my mom and my kids. You know how it is. You guys are dying. Like, I just want to go home and get ready for Christmas, get a present. We give one present at Christmas Eve, and that's it. And then we set up all the stuff for Christmas for Santa and the reindeer, man. And then the next day we celebrate Christmas. We go to all the houses. But Christmas Eve is always my favorite.
Yeah.
Just because it's that anticipation to get to Christmas.
Yeah.
But also the food.
And all the eating. Yeah.
So.
Well, it was really nice talking to you. I love learning more about you and your time coaching and everything you've done to help.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
This is fun, man.
You have a lot of really good insight, and you're doing some really cool and awesome things on campus. So, you know, it's really awesome to see it happen.
I'm proud of you guys for doing what you guys do too, man. So keep doing this, man. This is cool.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. That's all we have for you today. Thank you, Mr. Alcantar, for coming, and see you next time.
All right. Guys.
Peace.